Why China is faster than rockets, powerful than robots in construction. The technology behind it. Assume that you went to China for a few days on vacation. The day you arrived at the hotel, you noticed that the construction work on a building next to your hotel had just begun. But suddenly, after a few days, you noticed that where there was an under-construction project a few days ago, there is now an entire duplex building. This happens all the time in China. Believe it or not, China is stronger than robots and faster than rockets when it comes to construction. It is difficult to admit, but the reality is that China's construction capability is 90 times greater than America's. These are not my words, but this is about a man whose references are always appropriate. We will get to him later. But the question is, why is China so quick to build? What is the specialty behind it? What kind of infrastructure building strategy does China employ? Who is the key player? Money? Human resources? Are there any superpowers? Not indeed. But what China does have is technology. Only because of technology, China is progressing so quickly that they don't even have time to be amazed. And in this video, we will go over how China is making the best use of technology in their construction work, as well as how they are showing temper with the Western building system. So, without further ado, let us get to the main video. Let me explain why experts believe China is superior to America or any other developed country in terms of construction. Well, a comment by Harvard University professors Ellison about China's development makes these points abundantly clear. In a TEDx seminar, he makes a comparison between one of the bridges in Massachusetts and a bridge named Sanyuan Bridge in Beijing, which is several times larger than the bridge in Massachusetts. The Chinese made the decision to renovate the bridge in 2015. Once, Professor Ellison inquired, "How long do you think it took the Chinese to finish this project?" The authorities instructed him to guess. According to the professor's calculations, he says that it will take at least 3 months. But the interesting thing is that this bridge was built in only 43 hours by a Chinese engineer. Just think about it. There is a huge mathematical difference between 3 months and 43 hours. Professor Ellison was completely stunned after witnessing this escapade. Let us now discuss some of the technologies that China has used to obtain such energy for construction work. First of all, prefabrication. You may not know about prefabrication. But China is a leader in the use of prefabricated construction. Let me explain. Prefabrication is the process of putting together individual structural parts in a factory or other manufacturing location before transporting finished assemblies or sub-assemblies to the construction site where the structure will be placed. So they do not have to gather all the dusty items in one place. These building materials are put together in the various factories before being placed on the construction site. Occasionally, they may use pre-assembled, ready-to-use parts. Consequently, it actually saves time. According to research, prefabrication can reduce construction time by more than 60%. Second, they make extensive use of three-dimensional technology. 3D technology is widely used in Chinese construction. They own the most powerful 3D printer in the world. Building a complex structure is a challenging task for any engineering team in construction. Therefore, these 3D printers are used to quickly and effectively create those complex structures. However, the majority of nations lack sophisticated 3D printers with complex structures. All they possess is some sort of plastic instrument maker. And from these angles, China is a little bit ahead of every other nation. Next is robotics. Construction in China is heavily reliant on robotics. They invest a significant amount of money in the construction industry, primarily in factories. Robots are used in a variety of applications, including welding and painting. Aside from human-controlled robots, China intends to incorporate some AI robots into these tasks in order to free up human workers to focus on more skilled tasks as well as improve safety on construction sites. Along with all of those technologies, China also has a number of other elements that help it advance more quickly. Like a large and well-trained workforce, a strong focus on efficiency, and a willingness to experiment with new technologies. As a result, China's construction rate has increased significantly over the last 30 years. For instance, a 30-story hotel can now be built in just 15 days instead of the 18 months it would have required 30 years ago. In Changsha, a 57-story skyscraper was constructed in just 19 days in 2015. In Shanghai in 2016, a 10-story apartment complex was constructed in just 28 hours. In 2017, Wuhan's 22-story hospital was completed in just 10 days. And these three were the groundbreaking construction projects that made history. Even Westerners admit that China has the most advanced construction equipment on the planet. Furthermore, China is making good money by using this incredibly fast speed in other nations, not just its own. They export their construction technology to Latin America, the Middle East, Africa, Kenya, and Sri Lanka. This is helping to boost the construction industry and create jobs in other countries. Not only that, but China makes billion-dollar deals with a variety of countries every year. For example, in 2018, Kenya agreed to a $62 billion deal to build a high-speed rail network. $10 billion deal to build a new advanced airport in Ethiopia. And lastly, a $32 billion deal with Sri Lanka for building ports and many more. However, you must ultimately believe that all of these miracles were made possible by China's hardworking laborers. They stand for the unity of China and exemplify the spirit of the people. This is the only explanation for why China is known as the infrastructure maniac. That concludes today's discussion. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. If so, please like and share this video with a Chinese-obsessed friend. Do not forget to subscribe if you want to be notified of the latest update. That is all for now. We will see you shortly. Until then, bye.